Yesterday I was on the phone quite a while with a chap from Prince Edward Island in Canada, and he's been doing a transplant of 300 TDI plus the gearbox and transfer case into a series truck. Well, that's okay, but one of the things is he's done all the work himself, which is very commendable. However, he needed a gearbox tunnel, which I happen to have. The fiberglass ones that I make, well, I don't make, my fiberglass man makes them. But when the conversation went on, he found out that there's a lot of bits missing. Okay, for the shift linkage, you didn't have the shift linkage, and this is one of the things. If you're going to do a project and you buy a gearbox, make sure you got all the bits, because a lot of people in like UK or whatever just say, "Oh, there's a gearbox," and that's it. But you need to connect it up together. So I've come across some bits here that's useful for him. I've got a linkage. I've got a linkage off what's that off? An LT77, but there is an R380 type of linkage, but it's missing the staple here, and we've got the little bracket thing here. Okay, now this is lucky to have this piece on here, because this isn't sold individually. If you want this, you've got to buy the whole shooting match that goes into your transfer case, and that's expensive. Also, I've got a top link here that goes onto here, and I've got another one that's been cut off here. So what I'm going to do is take all this lot to bits, put it through the bead blaster and the sand blaster and wherever you, and try and make him a linkage kit out of bits. And I've got a rubber gaiter here, so that's not too bad, is it? I think it'll be alright. So we're going to strip this down. First, we'll replace all the O-rings and what have you, but it is in a bit of a state. Now, when you're doing things like this and shot blasting or bead blasting or whatever you're going to do, it's advisable not to do anything with grease in the sandblaster. You'll just contaminate your cabinet. So we've got to clean that out. And also, this is seized up. Kind of common, isn't it? Never get bloody used. So we're going to take all these screws out, take it all to bits, the best we can, and see if we can salvage this. I think it'd make a nice little unit. Right, let's get blasting. Right, back onto this. I've got the parts all sandblasted, and I've sprayed them with some of this Walter Zinc 100. This is a bright finish. It's really good stuff for stopping rust. But now we're going to get on to this thing here. These are renowned for rusting up. This bit's all rusty around here. We're going to see if we can free this up. They always corrode in here. We're going to try and get it to bits where I've got to get that grease out, or as much as I can, before we do anything. So we've got to take that clip off. Ironically, that bit isn't rusty. The easiest bit to get out isn't rusty. Take the pin out. Ooh, look how clean that is. Then, now, can we move all that lot? I don't think we can. Well, we can take the shaft out, or can we? No, because the shaft's got a bend in it, so we can't do that. That's free. Well, I think what we're going to have to do is just get some paper towel and get as much of this grease out as we can. It doesn't do anything. You know, like the bits that do need greasing haven't got any grease on them. The bits that, you know, don't need greasing, there's blathered in the damn stuff. Anyway, I'll get on and clean this up, and then we'll put it in the parts washer, wash it out, dry it out, and give all these bits a sandblast before we attempt to get anywhere on it. Now, with that all cleaned up, we're going to give it some taps to see if we can move things around a little bit, but I think that is solid. We need to get those screws out of there, so we need our impact. That one's up. I'm going to put this in the vise. see if we can get it out, because that's going to be a little bit warm. That was a bit fake, wasn't it? But that's how it was. Right, so that's that bit. The next thing we're going to do is see if we can turn this backwards and forward to loosen it off a bit, because this is held in with an O-ring and it should be free to move. I don't think so though, but it is pretty rusty. So let's see if we can put this in the vise and move it. There we go. She's moving. Well, it's moving that way. Oh, wait a minute. What's happening there? That's nice and free now. You can see, well, you can't probably see, but that's moving the spline bit, but not the shaft. We need to move the shaft. Now, what we need to do to get that out completely is that there's a little circlip. There's a little circlip just in here we've got to get out, and that will take the bush out, and hopefully we can get that all moving, because there's a ball in there, and yeah, that's it, and that'll go through that way. Oh, I can just see the eye of the circlip, like the eye of the tiger. There we go. Sometimes you need a little blade just to get underneath it, because the points on your circlip pliers are not going all, well, they go all the way through, but the circlip's very thin. So we can get that out now. Get the circlip out. And with a bit of luck, that should all pop out. Grab the circlip. So there we go, that circlip goes around that little groove there, so it'll all come out. So all we've been doing so far is turning this here. That's nice and free now. But we're not free here. Now I wonder, whilst that's in there, we can get a punch. Might be able to. Oh my! Look at that! Look at that! I love it when I put. Wow, today's been a really special day. Everything's sort of going together right. And that is turning in there like that. That is off there, and that is off there. All we've got to do is get this piece out of here now. Don't support it on the lugs. Don't support it there, but support it on the main body, and we'll get a big punch now. Ta-da! Now we need a punch to get this piece off. We'll just turn that upside down and use a punch we use. I did it like that so I didn't want to bell over the end of the shaft, so it would make it even worse. So now we've got all those bits out, we can sandblast and clean those individually and get ready to put them back in again. Oh, easy job.